Hello everyone, this is Mehran Fardis from Care Law Group. I'm an immigration attorney in San Diego, California, serving the entire state and the 50 US states and worldwide with all your immigration questions, topics, issues, and cases. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is really not a legal topic, but it's a question that I get asked quite a bit. So I wanted to address that in this short video and tell you a little bit of my opinion about it. I had a lady calling me today from Hawaii. She wanted to file for adjustment of status based on marriage to a US citizen, recently married, and her question to me was, I'm planning to file for a green card application, and should I do this with you or should I file this on my own? I don't really know how to answer this question, so I usually go to the end and explain to the client what happens if things aren't filed properly. It's almost like your car breaks down and you ask somebody, should I fix the car myself or should I take it to a mechanic? Of course you can fix the car yourself, but what does it really take? Do you have the right tools? Do you have a lift? Do you have a space? Do you have a place you can go under the car and review things from underneath the car? Do you have all the different gadgets and screws and tools that a mechanic has to take the engine out and figure out what's going on and put it back together? Do you have the time? Do you want to spend 2-3 days figuring out what happened to your car and then do it on your own? It's a similar process with not just immigration, but with many court filings and court procedures. Unlawful detainer filing, an eviction process. Family court is a very form-heavy part of law. Immigration is very form-heavy. There's a lot of forms you have to fill out, boxes you have to check, and you have to provide documents to the government for whatever specific matter you're working on. I had a client this week. He came to me because his petition for a consular processing for his wife, I-130 petition, was partially rejected and a request for evidence was sent to him by USCIS. So I look at his packet and I see that he filed I-130, but he did not include the I-130A, which is a beneficiary non-US spouse's form. I also noticed that he had not provided a lot of important documents the government want to see. So government, obviously the officer in USCIS center where the files have gone to, looks at the big things first. Well, the I-130A is missing, so that's a big one. So they just send it back for the petitioner, for my client, to fill out the I-130A and send back. But while reviewing his file, I also noticed that his I-130 was completely improperly filed. Half of the information was incorrect. He had filled out wrong parts of the form. So we're lucky that we caught this now before this goes actually further into another USCIS officer who would determine whether or not this is a real marriage. And if that officer cannot be convinced that this is a real marriage because there's important matters missing, they're going to reject the case. This happens 8-9 months down the road. It may take a year until a USCIS officer at a service center will review the I-130 petition to establish whether or not this is a real relationship. And if the officer doesn't see what they need to see, they reject it. You're looking at a year of lost time to go back and refile this again. If we had not seen his I-130 along with the missing documents that we have to fill out now, this would have gone to a hold. This would be another 8-9 months hold until an officer reviews this and see, okay, this is missing, marriage license is missing, crucial information is missing, address history is missing, reject. This is the price you pay. The price you pay for mistakes is delays, is time. And nobody wants to wait. I mean, his wife is outside. He wants to be with his wife. It's a year added for this person not to be with his wife. This is the price that is the cause of delays and cause of issues in filing. So my answer is potential delays, potential time lost, potential frustration is the price you pay if you do this on your own. I'm not saying YouTube is wrong or there's missing. Obviously, I'm on YouTube myself. There is no information on Google is incorrect. A lot of information about immigration on YouTube and on Google are case specific. Those information may not apply to you, just like medical information you find on YouTube or Google. Not every person's condition is the same. A doctor has to evaluate your blood. A doctor has to evaluate your case to see if you fit that description. Just because you read something online, it doesn't mean it applies to you. Same with immigration. A lot of people come to me and say, hey, I read this on Google, I read this on sites on YouTube. What's going on? Nothing. I have to see your case. Everybody's case is different. Everybody's facts are different. Everybody's life situation is different. We have to evaluate that. Who does that? Somebody who's done this before. I have been on the other side myself. I'm an immigrant. I came to US. I went through the immigration process. I had to fill out the forms for a green card. I have to process citizenship. And I did not understand a lot of the words on the forms, even though I understood the meaning of the word, I didn't know the context. A lot of questions on immigration forms are coming from previously decided court cases. There has been a lot of these questions relate to something that has happened in the past, and they come in the forms. You need to be familiar with those cases. You need to be familiar with that history to know what the context of each question is. Sometimes people say no on a certain question when the answer is yes. And sometimes it's the reverse. Government officer thinks you're lying because you provided incorrect information. In reality, you didn't understand. And USCIS not USCIS, most government officials don't care if you didn't understand. It's your job to understand what the form is asking from you, and you have to provide correct information. It's a tricky situation because time is precious, and being with a loved one is what the goal is. And if you're trying to do that, I think the cost of, legal fees is a small price you pay for time saved at the end. I'm not advocating that you come to see me or become a client with our office. My point is that if something can be done efficiently through a source that knows more about this process than you and has the right tools, let that source do the work and you go about your day and basically, spend your time wisely on other things. So the answer to question for the lady who called me today from Hawaii was, well, how much time are you willing to sacrifice? Because potentially there could be a mistake. And I'm not saying you're making a mistake. I just see that in about 7, 8 out of 10 forms that come back are self-filed forms. It's just natural. The logic that a lot of people have, common society has, is not the same logic as USCIS logic. You need to understand what USCIS is looking for, what the mental process is, what their intent is from asking the questions and the documents they want from you. And you need to provide it to them the way they want to see it, in a certain form they want to see it. Whether you file in physical form, mail it, or whether you file online, there's a flow and there's a certain way USCIS Immigration Services wants to see answers. And you need to give it to them as easily as possible. You want to make their life easy. The officer who's looking at your file, you want to make his life easy so you get your case approved quickly, easily, and you get about your life. So this was kind of a non-legally related video, but it's important to understand the consequences of any errors or mistakes. We're here to assist. You can always contact us with any questions you have. I don't charge for text messages. I don't charge for phone calls. I talk to a lot of people all day, give advice as much as I can. This is not just a job for me. This is my passion. I like to help out as much as I can. I have been on the other side. I know how difficult it is to be an immigrant. And I find this to be kind of a mission in life for me to help out. So contact our office if you have any questions. We're here to assist. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and share. And we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.